Hey guys, it's Phoenix Android Radios here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the install for a Nissan Titan 2018 with navigation. This is the radio itself. The side buttons light up different colors. You have multiple buttons here for park assist, traction control, lane changing, and the steering wheel heated. If you don't have these functions, they will not work. But you do have these functions for the air conditioning control. And you have a camera button and a hazard. At the back of the radio, we have several connections here. These are all your factory connections. This is the hazard, and you have two here and two here. You will most likely some vehicles have traction control, but if they have more buttons, you can see in the vehicle here, there's many plugs here. So just match the corresponding key of the plug to the plug here. So there's bezels here. Just don't take this one and connect it to the other ones. Match the shape of the plug. You have two connectors here. Depending on your vehicle, if it is auto AC, you're going to be using this connector. If it is a manual AC vehicle, you're going to be using the larger connector. Some of them do not have the larger connector because yours will be an auto AC. So the small one's for auto AC vehicles, the larger one is for manual AC. Taking a look at the harness, it only comes with one type of harness, and there are a lot of plugs here, but only use the one based on the sticker. So on the sticker you can see 2016 to 2018 with Navi. In our case, we will be using this plug, and these other two plugs we will not be using because it does not correspond with our radio. This is without navigation, and this is a 19 and newer. So this is the plug we're going to be using. And the other one we have here are these two. This is for your sound, and this is with amplifier, without amplifier. This vehicle is a Platinum Reserve 2018 with navigation. It does have the amplifier, so we will be using this connector. And on this connector, we have many RCAs, and these RCAs will be connected to this tannish connector that connects to the back of the radio, and that will go right here. So this is for if your vehicle has an amplifier, and if it does not have an amplifier, you will be using this one. The other two connectors are the radio antenna, and in our case we're going to be using the 2018 one, which is this connector here. So we're not using this one. This is the canvas connection that goes to the back of the radio, which is the canvas board, and you have the power cable that will connect to the top here. Looking at these three plugs, because we're going to be using this one 2016 to 2018 with navigation, you can see we have several cables coming out of it. We have a yellow male RCA for the factory backup camera, and we have a red and white male RCA and aux-R, aux-L. This is to retain or support the factory AUX jack. You're going to be using this connector, which is a gray connector, connects to the back of the radio over here. Over here. And the red and white will connect for the factory aux jack. Aux-R in, aux-R, aux-L, and aux-L in. Make sure you're only using one set of the yellow and the white and red. You can see on these other ones, the other two that we're not using, they also have the yellow, white, and red, as well as this one has just the yellow. It doesn't have the white and red. And that's because the 2016 to 18 without Navi, it has a different separate connector that has your red and white RCAs. So these plugs you do not need because we will be using the small one, which is 2016 to 18 with Navi. And for the sound, we're going to be using the with amp connector going to the car, and this yellow one we will be connecting back to here. Only use this plug if you have an amplifier on your vehicle. For the radio antenna, This is a 2018 with navigation Nissan Titan. We will be using this connector. So this is the antenna, connect back here, and this will go to the car. We have the canvas communication connector, and that goes to the back here. And so going to the car, we only have two connectors. We have the 2016 to 18 with Navi, our factory backup camera. You're going to be finding this connection. So this connects to the top here, right above that yellow tan. And on that harness, we have a female RCA labeled factory camera. So we will connect those two. And the other thing we need to do is screw on the Wi-Fi antenna, as well as connect the GPS antenna here. And that will come from the vehicle, which is the factory GPS antenna connection. So we have the antenna, we have the sound for the amplifier, we have the factory backup camera, and we have the factory AUX jack here. And that all comes from this small connector. And we have a second one, which is with amp. Total connections from our harness to the car are two. The 2016 to 18 with Navi connector and the with amplifier connection. And we have this final one for the power going to the radio, connects up here. So after we connect these two connectors, because this is an auto AC, we're going to find the factory plug from the car here and connect the rest of the plugs down here. No, okay. Now, because this is an auto AC vehicle, we only need to plug in this small connector for the air conditioning control, and we will leave this large connector empty. We've connected back a lot of the factory connectors. One thing to note, when you are removing the factory radio, remove the factory CD player. It is no longer here. The factory CD player has been removed, but in the process of removing that, you also need to take out the air conditioning control box, which is this translucent white box, and connect it back to the car. This will get your AC control to work. If you don't put this back, the AC will not work. Again, the CD player is out, or the factory box is out, but the white box here for the air conditioning is still connected in the car. So we're going to connect the factory GPS antenna.
$180, yeah.
And once we've connected the factory GPS antenna, the last two are the with amplification connector and the 2016 to 2018 Navi connection. So these are the two connectors left.
connection will make sound.
Okay, so we've connected the two connections.
Radio
Let's also connect the radio antenna, which is right here. And the radio itself has a built-in microphone on the front, which is right here. There is also a RST button. If anything goes wrong, you can use a paper clip to press it. No need to hold it, just press it, the screen will go dark and it'll come back up. The built-in microphone works well, but there is also a setting inside the radio to retain the factory microphone, which is right here. So now that the connections have been made, let's turn on the engine and see it come up. Yeah, before you put the radio back in, make sure you connect the USB connection. There is a connection that goes here. We did not connect it, but that looks like this is the USB connection, and it is 2 USB ports on the end. We route this outside of the vehicle for access. So it connects right there.
Adapter.
You also receive an adapter. This comes from the brown connector, and inside your vehicle, it also comes with an adapter here. It comes with this adapter. You don't necessarily need the adapter. You can actually just connect it straight to here, which will go to the brown connector. But if you want to keep the factory USB port to work, you can use this adapter. So just connect this here and find this connection in the vehicle, which is right here. This can be stuffed in, and we have another USB port that we have routed to the glove compartment area. So this is a longer cable. It does have a label USB OTG, and this is used for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The rest is easy, just gotta stuff the cables towards the back so that they have space to fit in when you mount the radio. So a couple things to check. If your door status shows if the radio has sound. Radio does have sound. RPM is showing. And one thing to check is if you turn on your headlights, these should light up. But if you turn off your headlights, they should stop. Also check if your AC control is working, and it does seem to be working. You can press on the person to cycle through the different positions of the air, feet, chest, and defrost. It will cycle through. So let's turn it off. If check that your hazard button is working. If it is not working, just need to confirm the connection at the back is secure. So depending on your vehicle, if you do have these buttons will work. Same goes with the steering wheel heated. If you don't have these functions, they're just physical buttons. So that's the final install. If you have any questions, can give us a call or send us an email. Bye guys.